Brian here. Today, talking about the San Francisco 49ers. Well, it's finally here, edge-to-edge video, 49ers versus Detroit Lions. I'm excited to talk about this. I hope you guys are excited to discuss this in the comments below. If you don't know what this series is where I go to every game, do a team versus the 49ers, and pick an edge based on position, like quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. To be honest with you, in this matchup, I'm going to be picking a lot of 49ers because I'm looking at the roster for the Lions. Yes, they're on the come up. Yes, they have things going good for them, but at the same time, the 49ers, I just think they're more of a complete team. Don't be surprised if I pick a lot of 49ers if you're a Lions fan, and I'm pretty sure if you're a Lions fan, you pretty much know which team has the edge in terms of positions heading into Sunday's game. Does this mean that the 49ers are going to win the game easily? No, but at the same time, this is just to see how the roster looks like before the game happens on Sunday. I hope you guys are having a great Monday, nothing too crazy for me, and yeah, let's finally get this started. Before I do, as always, please like and subscribe. It's going to help me out a lot. Click on that bell notification to get notified of future videos. Share the content with fellow Niner faithfuls. If you guys want to check out my podcast page, link will be in the description below. TikTok page where I post videos and do stuff with 49er content. That will be in the link in the description below as well. Thank you guys so much. Let's get this started. 49ers versus Detroit Lions. Who has the edge per position? Alright, first up, quarterback position. Jimmy Garoppolo, assuming that he's the starter, versus Jared Goff. Who has the initial edge? And to be honest with you, I'm picking Jimmy Garoppolo because Jared, I've seen him play in Los Angeles for years now. And am I a big fan of his? Probably not. I've always thought that he was a little too overrated in LA. I think he'll be the same in Detroit. But the thing is, this Detroit team is a lot worse than his Rams teams from years past. So Jimmy, I think he deserves the edge. And plus, Jimmy has had a better record against Jared head-to-head anyways. I know past performance doesn't equate to future success, but at the same time, I have more faith in Jimmy Garoppolo, although he might throw a pick or two in this game because he's Jimmy Garoppolo. I still have more faith in him than Jared Goff in this game in particular. Giving the initial edge to Jimmy G. Some of you guys might disagree with me, but Jared, I've seen him play for years now. I'm just not a big fan, to be honest with you, and he might prove me wrong in this game. We'll see, but I'm picking Jimmy for this initial setup, and even then, I would pick Trey Lance anyways, too, if he was the starter for this game. Running back position, 49ers versus Lions. Who do I have the initial edge to? Raheem Mostert's going to be pretty much our lead man. You also have other great guys like Trey Sermon, JaMychal Hasty. The running backs for the Lions, they have Jamal Williams, DeAndre Swift. Pretty good squad right there. I think Williams is coming from the Packers, I believe. Very serviceable running back. Swift, he could be a good one, but at the same time, he's always getting hurt. That's the big problem with him. But if I had to get the initial edge, I'm giving it to the 49ers because I love the running back by committee. The 49ers have had a lot of success in the running game, and I believe they will in this game in particular against their defense. I'm liking Mostert. I'm liking all these guys that we have on our running back position. I can't go wrong with it at all. For the most part, I always pick the 49ers running back, except maybe against Derrick Henry because Henry's just a tank, and he's hard to deal with. Initial edge for this one is going to be the 49ers, Raheem Mostert. Wide receiving core, 49ers versus Lions. Who am I going to give the initial edge to? You look at the 49ers, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, those are two big guys. You also have some great guys behind them. Trent Sherfield, Mohamed Sanu, Jalen Hurd. He should be making his debut in the NFL game regular season. I'm liking the squad so far. Do I think they're the best? Of course not. I think there's way better wide receiving squads than the 49ers, but I'm hoping Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk can be that big 1-2 punch this year, in particular, have that breakout year as a duo. For the Detroit Lions, the only big acquisition they got was Tyrell Williams. I think he's from the Raiders. He is a really good wide receiver. But other than that, they don't have anybody where to the point where they're going to be a big threat unless they have some breakout game on Sunday. But I had to give the initial edge. I'm giving it to the 49ers. Yeah, so far, all 49ers, and don't be surprised at all. I'm liking the team right now, and I think they're a very, very good playoff contending team so far. So I have to give the initial edge, give it to the 49ers. Next up, the tight end position, TJ Hockenson versus George Kittle. Hockenson, very good tight end. I think he's in a big come up. He's been improving every single year. I've followed him a little bit in Detroit. I think he's going to be a big difference maker in this game in particular. But if I had to get the initial edge, got to give it to my all-pro people's tight end, George Kittle. I mean, every time it's a tight end position, I'm going to give it to George no matter what. Even if he's a little bit banged up, I think he's fully healthy in this one. But even if he's not at 100%, I will always pick him because he's a big X factor for the 49ers offense, definitely. And even in the Super Bowl, I picked George Kittle over Travis Kelce. That's crazy, right? I still pick Kittle because I love me some Kittle, and he's an awesome guy to watch on the field. Edge, George Kittle. Offensive line, 49ers versus Lions. Who am I going to get the initial edge to? This one probably hands down the 49ers because I'm liking who I have right now. You have great Pro Bowlers, all-pro guys, Alex Mack, Trent Williams. You have guys on the come-up. Mike McGlinchey, I think he's going to have a much better year than he did last year in 2020. You have reliable guys like Daniel Brunskill, Laken Tomlinson. Those five guys, I think they're going to do great in this game in particular, and just in the whole year in general. They have a great depth as well. You can't go wrong with that. The Lions offensive line, Penei Sewell, the guy that drafted first round this year, he's been struggling a little bit in the preseason. They've been trying to downplay it, like, it's just preseason, but at the same time, a little bit concerning for a guy that was drafted that high, and offensive line was a big need for the Lions in particular. So for me, I think it's a hands down for the 49ers offensive lines. All that, I mean, some of you guys that are Detroit Lions fans might be thinking that I'm biased or I'm crazy, but you look at the roster top to bottom for the 49ers, and this matchup in particular, I think is just superior to the Lions. And you know what? This is not to predict that the 49ers are going to have a way better game than the Lions. This is just looking at the roster and the talent that they have and giving it an initial edge. If you get mad, then that's too bad, right? Next up, let's talk about the defense. Time to talk about the defense, the most exciting part for me personally, because the 49ers defense on paper is amazing, and I think on the field this week, they're going to have a great first game impression for the 2021 season. First up, defensive line, 49ers versus Lions. Who am I going to give the initial edge to? If I had to give it, I'm going to give it hands down to the 49ers. I think the Lions, they have some great guys like Michael Brockers and Nick Williams, but other than that, 49ers, you talk about the guys that we have. Nick Bosa making his return. D Ford, who can play on a part-time basis. Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, who I think is going to break out this year in 2021. You just can't beat that right there, in my opinion. Bosa, I think he's going to have a great first game coming back from his ACL injury, and I know he's motivated big time after losing a whole season of football. 49ers get the initial edge. I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on their offensive line and sack Jared Goff about 2 or 3 times in this game. Next up, the linebacking core, 49ers versus Lions. Who am I going to get the initial edge to? At first, I was going to be thinking about the Lions because they have Jamie Collins and Trey Flowers. Flowers, I mean, he's more of a defensive end with the way that they do their defense, but still, he has been up and down in his whole career, and this was a complete Matt Patricia pick, so they've had to pay a lot of money to get him in the first place. He's a Patriot player, and Patriot players don't really do well in their next team. Wherever they go, they just go for the big bucks. You can't blame them at all for that, right? But if I had to get the initial edge, hands down the 49ers, because Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Al-Jazeer, these guys, they just get relentless. They can get to anybody, anytime. And I think this year they're going to be dialing up some pressure to the quarterback in particular. So if I had to give the initial edge, definitely the 49ers linebacking core. Fred Warner, I believe, is one of the best linebackers in the NFL, if not the best linebacker in the NFL. Last up, defensive backs. A little bit more interesting to see who I want to give the initial edge to. I'm looking at both of them. I don't know. Both of them don't really stand out in my opinion. Even the 49ers don't stand up too much. Having the acquisition of Josh Norman, I think that's going to be pretty cool right there. Pretty interesting to see if he does play in his first game for the 49ers. But Jason Verrett, Emmanuel Mosley, those guys do really well. Talanoa Hufanga, I think he's going to make his debut. He should have a great first game. It's going to be a little bit different than preseason, but at the same time, if you've just been playing like you did in the preseason, that should have a lot of success right there, right? If I give the initial edge, as much as I want to try to give something to Detroit, I still have to give it to the 49ers. I really wanted to give an edge to the Lions in some way, shape, or form, but if I'm looking at the roster, if you guys are looking at the roster, the 49ers just have a superior roster in my opinion. And the Lions, maybe in a couple years, they will be good, but for right now, under Matt Campbell, it's going to take some time to get really good, and that's all I could pretty much say. And you know what? They could upset the 49ers. I don't want to take the Lions too lightly. I'm not that type of guy to say, oh, it's going to be an easy win. Oh, they're suck. They're not going to do anything. But you never know. I mean, I've seen the 49ers get upset by other teams that were not great that year in particular. I'm not going to be saying that the 49ers are going to just blow the Lions out, although I'd love to see that happen. Everything to edge, 49ers, even special teams, even the coaching right now, I still have to give it to the 49ers, and I'm hoping that everything goes well for the team, and that's all I could pretty much say. That's pretty much it, you guys. I know it sounds really biased for the 49ers, but if I'm looking at the roster top to bottom, you just can't compare it at all right now. And we'll see what I have to say for prediction videos tomorrow on a Tuesday. Please let me know what you guys think about this whole edge thing. Was I right? Was I wrong? Please let me know in the comments below. And everybody, play nice. That's all I can pretty much say for the 49er Lions fan. Let's do that. Please like and subscribe. That's going to definitely help me out a lot. I'll be catching you guys up hopefully tomorrow on a Tuesday when I talk about prediction and who I'm going to pick to win the game. Bye, guys. Love y'all. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, rest of your Labor Day weekend. Go Niners all day.